Attention all units. We have reports of 2 motorcycle cops protecting California's highway.
That's for us, good buddy.
The Men of Chips are on MeTV.
Hi, I'm John Baker. I'm John Baker. He's Officer Baker.
He's the blonde one.
Hi there!
Officer Poncherello, man. Frank Poncherello.
Oh, I'm Frank Poncherello.
And he's the one who's Eric Estrada.
There's no way I wouldn't remember a name like that.
Catch the blonde one and the one who's Eric Estrada.
Now on
Chips.
MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Tune in to Heartland for the best in true country music. Relive vintage specials, one-of-a-kind concerts, and country music's earliest videos. Heartland is the heart of country. The only place where you can find country music, country stars, and country lifestyles 24/7. Heartland, the heart of country.
Now on channel 13.2.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Glad you're along on a Friday morning. We're talking about breast cancer. Hey, and the race for the cure is coming up very shortly. It's just around the corner. You can call in. Hey, we got an open line, 436-MeTV option 11. We've got two guests today here on the program. Back in just a moment. Back here on the program, Friday morning, and another week has gone by, and I'll tell you what, where is the year gone? It's already almost September, and we are here, you are there, 436-MeTV option 11. Another very important topic here on the program to touch on today, and I want to mention that you are watching us, obviously, hello. If you are watching us, it's Comcast 375 now as opposed to 187. We changed channels this past Wednesday. So I'm glad you found us. If you did, if you didn't, well, you're not even hearing me or seeing me right now. So what difference does it make? 43.6, 13.1, and 8.1 over-the-air broadcast. But the Comcast channel did change this week to 375. Okay, where can you watch the replay, you ask? As usual, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 13.6 YouTube. 8 o'clock tonight, primetime, 4.6 Biz TV. And then the YouTube channel is 24 hours a day. You can be up at 3, 4 in the morning and watch it anytime you like. Twitter account is always the same, at John Malos, MeTV. You see, we like to keep things the same around here so you get used to them. And then Comcast comes along and pulls the rug and changes the channel on us. Dog, after 4 years. Anyway, 375, you're watching us on Comcast. Before we get started on the program today, it's kind of a, it's sad, but very, I guess you could say very, I'm very touched this morning, and I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. Lauren Boothillier, our producer right there. I wish we had a camera on her. Okay, I don't want to start crying, but she's going to leave today. Today is her last day. So she's going to Power Talk 96.7. She's going to be the producer there. I shed a few tears this morning before coming to work. Yes, I really did. I do have a heart, Lauren. So I don't want to tear up, but she's been here for the better part of, 3-4 years herself. She's been here almost from the very, very beginning. She's done an outstanding job of producing and directing this show for the past year and a half. That's why I'm at such a loss for words right now. She has been my right-hand person and the person that I count on, lean on. I just rely on her so much to get things done, and she's a mind reader. She can actually read my mind, knows my every mood and everything else. So Lauren Boothillier, the one who does the commercials here, the face of MeTV Fresno, is leaving us. So you may still see her commercials every once in a while, but it's a sad day here at Connect with Me. It is also a very happy day because I'm very happy that she has this great opportunity to move forward in her career, and I hope she prospers for the rest of her professional career, starting at Power Talk 96.7 next week, next Tuesday, working on the Christopher Gabriel Show. So, Lauren, I love you, and good luck. All right, on with the program today. Two very important life-saving events I want to talk to you about this morning, and they take place right here in the city of Fresno. I want to take you to the videotape and show you exactly what I'm talking about. And the race for the cure is on, my friends. Well, it's almost on, my friends. It all happens on October the 24th at California State University, Fresno, that is. And they're be there at 6:30 in the morning to register, pick up your packet. Then the day is filled with a men's 5K run, a women's 5K, an awards ceremony, a survivors recognition ceremony, and much more. There's no better place to be on the 24th of October helping to fight breast cancer right here in the Central Valley. And in case you're wondering if you have a baby, yes, hey, bring the baby, bring the stroller, bring the family, but keep in mind the joggers with the strollers have to walk behind everyone else for safety reasons. Also, no animals of any kind unless you have a service dog. Yes, you can bring those. Of course, they're welcome. They even will this event will even take place rain or shine. Also, the other big event I want to talk to you about takes place earlier, about a month earlier, September the 26th at Gaston Middle School in the multi-purpose room located at 1120 East Church Avenue in Fresno, that is. This is a very important breast screening health fair. We will have details on how you can become a part of this, but I will tell you this, you must be 40 years old or older. You see the flyer right there. We'll put this graphic back up during the course of the program so you can see it. And that is not all. Also today we're going to talk to our second guest about knitted knockers. Say what? Knitted knockers, yes. A special handmade breast prosthesis for women who have undergone mastectomies. Then the second half hour, we're going to talk to our guest about that. Live in our studio right now is Sharon Johnson, the Executive Director of the Susan G. Komen Central Valley and two-time breast cancer survivor. She is here to talk about the two events. Later, we'll talk about knitted knockers, and those will help those who've had mastectomies and breast cancer, and they are survivors. They've had the breast removed and no reconstruction, and so that helps in a very big way. 436-ME-TV option 11. We're back with our program here in just a moment.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. We need your help to capture this fugitive. Francisco Molina Nieve has been on the run since March 2008. The police and the FBI need your help tracking this coward down. He's wanted for brutally beating his girlfriend and for the use of a firearm. He has 3 freckles and a crescent shape under his right eye. Call the Colorado FBI at 303-629-7171 if you know where he's hiding.
It's almost time.
Now we'll find out once and for all about Clark Kent and Superman.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a TV show.
Yes, but who is he? What's his name?
He's Superman.
Golly, Clark, won't that be wonderful seeing Superman?
Fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and television the Me TV way.
No one can do the things that Superman does.
The Adventures of Superman.
Now on Me TV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
Back here on the program talking about breast cancer, and that Race for the Cure is coming up in October. That breast screening event also takes place a month earlier in September. Sharon Johnson is here again, the Executive Director of the Susan G. Komen Central Valley. Two big events coming up, Susan. Let's talk about the race first. We got a little bit of B-roll of the race and talk about that. I mentioned some parts of it during the monologue, but give us more of an overview about what the race is about, how you raise money, does the money stay here, all of that.
Well, it is our largest signature event, and we've been doing this race since 1999 upon its inception. It is such a great fundraiser. 75% of the funds raised from the race actually stay here to fund education, screening, and treatment programs, and 25% funds cutting-edge breast cancer research.
So how much stays here again?
75%.
75% of that
yes.
money raised during the race, which is about how much altogether when you add it all up? For each race, let's say. Like this year, how much do you expect to make?
Well, we'd like to make at least $200,000 to $250,000.
Wow, so that means well over $100,000 will stay right here.
Yes.
In the Central Valley. Exactly what do you use the money for? You kind of touched on it briefly, but can you expand on it just a little?
Sure.
Okay.
Some people have the impression that we offer direct services, but the only direct service we do offer is educational outreach. We go into employers and do Breast Cancer 101, something of that nature. However, we have a competitive grant process where every year people apply for Komen funding. Right now we have 4 people that do that, four grantees. So those that do offer direct services offer patient navigation. They have pass-through grants, which means they evaluate people for financial necessity for paying for mammograms. We've had in the past treatment, a lymphedema treatment, and of course education to culturally diverse population that we have here in the Central Valley.
The race starts at what time?
Well, the first race, which is the men's race, starts at 7:30, and then the women's race starts at 8.
All right, and they're both 5Ks.
Yes, they are.
And they block off the streets around Fresno State, right?
Well, partially blocked, yes.
Partially blocked, but this is like is it an all-day event?
No.
It's like half a day.
Right. The last event that we host that day is the Kids for the Cure race, which is at 11:30.
Right, but then it ends and you have ceremonies after that, of course.
Well, the survivor ceremony is at 9:30, so it's between the runs, and then we have a co-ed fitness walk right after the survivor ceremony that starts between 10 and 10:30.
Let's talk about the cost. What does it cost to register?
It's $35 for adult individuals and $15 for children, and that's 12 and under.
Yeah, and you have all sorts of people there, whether or not they can run, walk. I mean, even if you're in a wheelchair or a stroller,
right.
If you're a baby, you can certainly navigate the course.
Right. I have a number of survivors that are concerned and call me and say, I don't think I'm in the best physical condition right now to walk, but they don't have to. It's a fitness walk, so they do what they can do, or there's something called Sleep In for the Cure. So you've got a sprained ankle, but you want to participate by giving a donation. Sleep In for the Cure, they still get a T-shirt, but they don't have to even come that day.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, we got a lot more to talk about here because you're only here for just a little bit. We got to change out at 10:30 and talk about knitted knockers with our second guest. We're going to be back here, 436 MeTV option 11. We're talking breast cancer, my friends. So call in. The Race for the Cure is coming up in October. We'll talk about the screening process and the event that takes place a month prior to that event. Back in a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here with Sharon Johnson, the Executive Director of the Susan G. Komen for the Central Valley and the breast screening event. Let's talk a little bit about that. Now, there's some very fine details in that flyer. I want to first of all mention this is for every woman that's over 40, right?
Correct.
You don't have to be any certain race or ethnicity or whatever. It's for everyone, but do you have to pay for this event? Do you have to pay anything?
No, there's no charge for this. It's called a no-cost mammogram and clinical breast exam screening.
So anyone can go?
Well, you have to have your eligibility determined first. There's no such thing, if you ever hear of there's no such thing as a free mammogram, but somebody's got to pay for it. But what this means is those women that are 40 and over that meet the criteria about low income, uninsured, or underinsured, have not had a mammogram within the last year, they have to call Erin Portugal at Clinica Sierra Vista by September the 20th to see if they are eligible, because there are programs that can make them eligible for these no-cost services.
Okay, so you have to place a call by September...
By September 20th.
Okay, at what telephone number?
That would be area code 559-457-5344. And the way this originated is out of a grant from Anthem Blue Cross, which is called the Circle of Promise, Susan G. Komen's Circle of Promise. And it is geared toward African American women because of their higher death rate. It's a 41% higher death rate than other women.
Oh, wow. Incredible. So I want to make this clear to our audience, because, this event takes place on when? September the 20th?
September 26th from 10 to 2 p.m.
10 to 2 p.m. It's at Gaston Middle School.
In the multi-purpose room.
The multi-purpose room. But you've got to place that phone call. But again, I want to repeat that because we can't say that enough so the viewers at home get it. They can write it down. So say it again.
The phone number, the person to call is Erin Portugal at Clinica Sierra Vista, 559-457-5344. Also, women that have not had an opportunity to even establish themselves with the doctor, that's why Clinica is on Presence, because they will serve as their medical home. Because when you have a mobile mammogram like that, the results have to go back to a medical professional. So we're very proud to partner with Clinica in that regard.
I see. So to see if you qualify, you've got to call that number.
Yes.
That's number one. And if you're getting mobile screening, the results are not immediate. So they have to be sent somewhere.
Yes.
Either to a physician or to a lab or someplace like that.
To a physician.
To a physician.
Yes.
Okay, so at that point, you go back to your physician and you say, okay, what are the results?
Correct.
And that physician will then hopefully tell you.
Well, yes, they'll have a written report in which they can tell you if there's anything that's found that possibly could be abnormal. Then the physician will send the patient for further diagnostic studies.
Yeah, and that's why you've got to have a physician in place.
Yes, you have to have a physician.
Yeah, it's just impossible, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just show up at a mobile lab and do all these tests and then get the results right there. It doesn't work that way.
Right, and this is
like any test.
Right, but this also is an opportunity. We're bringing in the American Heart Association, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Marjorie Mason Center, because we feel this should be a well-rounded health education informational event too.
Great. I do want to put up a couple of figures or some full-screen graphics on breast cancer. Let's do breast cancer number one, the full-screen graphic here, and we can kind of explain what breast cancer is and how it forms. We'll leave that up there for just a few seconds. I think most people know what breast cancer is. That pretty much sums it up right there, Sharon.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, we'll go to number two as well. And so this is the detection. And so what is the proper way to examine yourself as we take a look at this full screen here?
Some people don't believe in the absolute clinical breast exam tutorial. As long as women are looking at their breasts and feeling their breasts every month, we're finding that they're finding their lumps just as well as if they're trying to perform a clinical breast exam on themselves.
Yeah, and right there you see know your risk. Get screened, obviously, which you're going to on September the 26th, hopefully.
Right.
Know what is normal for you, because what's normal for you may not be normal for your next-door neighbor.
Right.
And make healthy lifestyle choices such as?
Reducing your alcohol intake, watching your diet, exercising every day.
Okay. All right, and of course, some of the microscopic analysis that takes place, very important. If you they take the biopsy. That really is that the only way they can find out if you have breast cancer is taking a biopsy?
Yes.
That's the only way?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to us, and we're going to talk more on the other side of the break about breast cancer. And a lot more to talk about, because there are some famous people that we have mentioned before in this program that have had breast cancer. They're battling it, And we want you to call in and weigh in on these two events. Hey, we've got the Race for the Cure. We've got the breast cancer detection mobile lab that takes place on September the 26th here in Fresno. 436-MeTV, option 11. We're back in just a moment.
Take a look at this. Let's play.
This is too hip for you. I'll slow down.
Let's play.
Watch all your favorite classic game shows on Buzzer TV, KBBC Digital Channel 13.7.
A top secret location. It's the Spies Who Love Me, bringing together MeTV's top super spies to fight evil at a memorable moment's notice. They're daring.
That's right.
Brave.
Now what are we gonna do?
The best we can.
Suave.
Does that apply to me, Oscar?
Possibly.
And smart.
Yellow finger in the gun trick.
Maxwell Smart.
MeTV Fresno, channel 43.6 and Xfinity 187.
We're back here with Sharon Johnson, and getting back to this breast screening event, that takes place on September the 26th at Gaston Middle School. What are you expecting for a crowd there, and anything else you'd like to say about this event?
Well, we'd like to have at least 100 people, and they don't have to be 40 to visit indoors. They have to be 40 in order to be eligible for the free screening, but there's going to be a lot of health information there.
Okay, and breast cancer, we know, kills, what, 40,000 women a year?
Approximately 40,000, yes.
Right here in this country?
Yes.
How much progress have they made?
We're making progress all the time with the research. Different diagnostic studies. We know that mammograms aren't the perfect study, but until something else that comes that is more definitive, that's what we're working on with research. They're working on targeted chemotherapies. There's progress every day.
What else can be done besides what we're doing, do you think, in the medical side?
Well, I think one of the problems is the amount of time it takes to go from research to the clinical setting. It can take up to 17 years for something to be researched to finally reach a doctor's office. So we have to work on being a little more expedient than that.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is, Sharon, you can have a history of breast cancer in your family, and you can do all the right things. You can have the right diet, you can stay away from alcohol, you can stay away from drugs, you can live a clean lifestyle, and yet that is no guarantee that you're not going to get breast cancer. Am I right?
That's true, and I had no history in my family of breast cancer, and about 8 to 10% of those that are getting breast cancer are caused by a gene mutation that is a hereditary factor.
Mm-hmm. So you don't have to have it in your family like you. You're a two-time survivor.
Right.
You had it twice, huh?
Yes, with no breast cancer in the family.
How did you catch yours early?
Mammograms. Routine mammograms.
Just routine? When did you start that? At what age?
At age 40.
You started at age 40?
Yes.
And so why did you do that?
Part of it is because of Susan G. Komen Foundation. Getting the word out there that
they just don't get out of the house to do it.
Some are afraid to do it. Some are afraid to find out. But the thing of it is, early detection saves lives. About 98% of the women that are diagnosed in a stage 1, 98 to 99% of the women can live a healthy life if it's detected early.
But, okay, you said that a lot of people are afraid to find out. They're going to find out anyway at some point, whether it's early or whether it's late. Isn't it better to find out when it's early in its infancy?
Absolutely. It takes a toll both on your body and financially if you're not diagnosed early. I mean, I understand that some are late stages that are diagnosed late and you don't even feel a lump or what have you. However, when you're proactive, you're more likely to find a problem.
If you find out you've got breast cancer and it's in the late stages, is it pretty much over?
Not necessarily.
Or can you be saved?
You can live a quality life. Maybe the duration of your life may be shortened somewhat, but I know stage 4 breast cancer survivors that have been going strong for 20, 30 years.
And they caught theirs late.
They caught theirs late, but because of the advancements in medication and what have you, they've been able to live a fairly healthy life.
Yeah, once you get breast cancer, and to those out there who have it, if you have breast cancer, what is it like the rest of your life? For example, yourself, do you have to constantly go back for checkups, testing? What happens?
I go back every 6 months. Since I do not have a reconstruction, I'm not having mammograms, but I see my oncologist every 6 months. The women that have had reconstructions, they have mammograms apparently, well, whatever their physician decides that they need, but they see their physicians usually every 6 months with mammograms.
Okay, so that's what they do. Every 6 months you do a mammogram.
It can be every 6 months, yes, depending upon the cancer.
And that's not too often to do a mammogram, right?
No.
It's almost, and once you have cancer, it's almost a necessity, I would assume.
You have to keep an eye on it, yes.
Yeah.
There's other studies, though. There's blood studies and other scans, too, that they do.
And maybe you did your research when you got breast cancer, but what about some of these alternative medicines? Not the traditional radiation type medicines. Did you research any of that?
I did not, because I've always been of the school that I'm going to go with what's scientifically proven. I'm a scientific and evidence-based person, so this is what I did.
Right, and so the procedure that you had was what?
The first surgery was a lumpectomy, and the second surgery was a bilateral mastectomy, which means both breasts were removed.
And each individual, I mean, they have to make up their own mind what course they want to take with this.
Right, with their physician. And also, I'd like to mention that if you're not comfortable with an initial decision on your treatment, get a second opinion. Whomever is treating you.
That? See, that's the thing. See, here's the thing I've always been leery about on second opinion, Sharon, and this is very interesting. If you're diagnosed with any kind of cancer, okay, do you get a second opinion here in the same town, or do you go outside the city? Because do doctors talk to each other? Do they commiserate? Do they share notes? In other words, you want a second opinion, but one that is completely independent of the one that you just had.
Right.
Am I right?
Yes, and both ways are fine. Some physicians, when they find out that their patients would like a second opinion, may send them out of town. Others may send them within town.
But should you do it without your physician's knowledge that you're getting a second opinion to make sure that it's totally independent?
You can, but it won't be totally independent because diagnostic studies won't be repeated. So those studies will have to be obtained either from the radiological facility, the lab, or whatever. Those studies have to come in to the doctor that's doing the second opinion, so they don't have to repeat all the studies.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist, but I like complete independent studies on if you're diagnosing me or you're diagnosing you or anybody. If you want a second opinion, I want them to be independent of each other. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, and I can pretty much say with certainty that even if you do have a second opinion locally, your doctors are not going to commiserate. You're going to be given a fair evaluation.
Yeah. Okay, I want to put up on the screen some of the most famous people around the world who've had breast cancer, and I do want to mention Angelina Jolie. Let's put her picture up there. Let's talk about her. She had both breasts removed, right?
She did. She had the BRCA mutation, and she would have been susceptible for both breast cancer and ovarian cancer, and her mother passed from ovarian cancer. So she chose to be proactive and have the breasts removed, and I believe later on she had a hysterectomy.
Yeah, how about Robin Roberts, of course, of ABC, Good Morning America, and we know the battle that she went through. It was absolutely horrible, Sharon. Just to see, the pain that she went through with her cancer and then the recovery, we kind of followed it pretty much.
We all followed it, but one thing that we can say is she had such a positive attitude throughout her treatment.
Right. How about Wanda Sykes? She is a comedian, a well-known comedian around the country, and she is quite funny. So she had breast cancer as well. Cynthia Nixon is another one who had breast cancer. There she is right now, very beautiful young lady. So what does it say about all these celebrities, Sharon, who've had breast cancer, have survived, they've gone through it? someone like Robin Roberts, what does it tell the audience? What does it tell the viewers?
Well, first of all, it's an opportunity for these women to educate millions of women in the United States and internationally.
That's Christina Applegate, by the way. Go ahead, continue.
So when they share their story,
Sheryl Crow.
they absolutely are able to get the word out about early detection and screening regimen.
Yeah, but you can also count on the fact that if the celebrities have them, if they have breast cancer, they can survive, then so can I. Isn't that the message?
I believe so, yes.
Because it's not just...
It's not the end of the world. It doesn't have to be a death sentence. When you see someone that can educate the masses and do so with a very positive attitude, it does affect the way you feel about your own cancer.
Is that the key for celebrities, is getting the message out and giving others education on what they're going through?
If they're able to do so, yes. Everybody has a private journey. Some people choose not to share it.
Yeah, Robin Roberts, of course, shared hers,
yes.
And it was very informational to a lot of people and very helpful, I would assume.
Right.
Yeah, because she shared her entire story.
She did.
Yeah. Sharon, September 26th, right?
Yes.
Gaston Middle School.
Multi-purpose room.
Multi-purpose room. What time?
From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that phone number they need to call one more time here before you go.
Area code 559-457-5344.
Okay, Sharon, it's always nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck with the breast cancer screening and also the race for the cure.
Thank you very much.
All right. Be back with our second guest here, 436 MeTV, option 11, in just a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Retro TV, your home for classic television. The greatest shows in history are here for you to enjoy. Join Cosby and Colt as secret agent men in I Spy. Ride along the Ponderosa with the Cartwrights in Bonanza. Hit the beat with Joe Friday in Dragnet. And that's not all. Retro TV offers endless fun and excitement for the whole family to enjoy. Retro TV, the best in classic television.
You can find Retro TV on over-the-air channel 13.4.
Hello, I'm John Walsh. We need your help to capture this fugitive. Julio Cesar Guevara Mejia is wanted by the FBI in Sacramento for the attempted murder of a 19-year-old female in November of 2007. Police say he lured the young woman to a hotel room where he shot her 3 times in the chest. He could be in Palm Springs, California or Houston, Texas. Contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI if you have any information.
Watch Dr. TV on over-the-air channel 13.9.
Frigidaire. It means the first refrigerator. It means a history of innovations that help make your home life better. And now we introduce the new Frigidaire French door refrigerator with over 100 ways to organize for maximum flexibility. Built with adjustable flip-up and slide under shelving and stackable crisper drawers. It's the refrigerator that flexes to fit it all, no matter what your day will bring. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here on the program, 436 MeTV option 11, and of course at the beginning of the program we mentioned our second guest today, an organization that helps those women who've had mastectomies, and it's, you know, the ones who have not had the breast reconstruction, those people can be helped. That's right. Let's roll the videotape or show the pictures. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, my friends. It's very simple. It's called Knitted Knockers. It's a special handmade breast prosthetic for women, not your typical or traditional prosthetic. Why? It's because those are usually too expensive. They're usually too heavy. They're usually too hot. They're usually too uncomfortable, and they typically require special bras. And they cannot, I repeat, cannot be worn for weeks until after the surgery. But knitted knockers are soft, they're comfy, they're beautiful, they're handmade, hand knitted. They take shape and they feel like a real breast to a certain extent. Of course, they're knitted, we know that. And they are free. They can be adjusted to fill the gap, even uneven, it doesn't matter. An incredible invention, and kudos to those who take the time to actually knit these things to help those women across the country who have had breast cancer and breast removal. So live in our studio now is Jennifer Taylor. She is here to talk about knitted knockers. We'll take the phone number down just for a moment here. She has brought many of these knitted knockers. You can see here on our desk we have much video, many pictures to show you. We'll ask her where people can call or go to a website to obtain some of these knitted knockers. We'll talk about this and much more on the other side of the break, so you can call in at 436-MeTV option 11. Knitted knockers, what a great idea for those who've had breast cancer. Back in just a moment.
You can find movies on over-the-air channel 13.3. Movies. Our name says it all.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the KitchenAid appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Save big with KitchenAid. Right now, get up to a $1,000 prepaid MasterCard when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Knitted knockers. I don't know how many people of you have heard of knitted knockers out there. 436-MeTV option 11. Jennifer Taylor is here to talk about knitted knockers. Welcome to the program. Glad you're here.
Thank
you.
How
are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Oh, that's good. You've brought a lot of these knitted knockers. Let's take a look at what you brought here on the desk. We'll take her single shot, and you can kind of hold those up to the camera there. Explain what they are and what they do and how they're made.
Sure. So knitted knockers are a prosthesis that are hand knitted. They're knitted with love by our volunteers here in the Central Valley area. And women can use these immediately after they've had breast cancer surgery. For women opting out of reconstructive surgery, they can use these instead of the traditional prosthetic devices, which, as you said, they're hot, they're heavy, they're expensive, and just uncomfortable.
Yeah, kind of hold that up in front of you like this,
Sure.
in front of the camera, so people can kind of see that. It is kind of, it's formed much like a breast.
Yes.
It really is, and that's the whole idea, right?
Correct. This really does have beautiful shaping. It's
right there in the corner.
Okay,
See, right
there we go.
Right there.
Beautiful shaping, and so you just slip it right in your bra. You don't have to buy a special bra. The one that you were wearing before surgery, you can slip this right in. It stays in, and it's a great option for women.
Yeah, it's amazing. So where can people get these? Where and who makes them here in the Central Valley? What organization makes them?
Well, we just started our local chapter of Knitted Knockers. We were the first one here in California. I saw a need and acted on that need, and so we have local knitters who are knitting them for us. We are working with a local yarn shop who sells the yarn that's needed for the knockers.
Do they donate the yarn?
No, they don't donate the yarn. The knitters go and purchase the yarn from swatches, and then they knit the knockers, and when they're completed they turn them back into swatches, and we have a Stuff the Knockers party where we stuff the knockers that people have turned in. If people want knitted knockers, what they need to do is just send an email to CA Knitted Knockers at sbcglobal.net.
You want to say that again?
Sure. It's all one word, CA Knitted Knockers at SBC Global.
Knitted Knockers at sbcglobal.net. Okay.
And in that email, they just need to provide me with their name, address, what size knocker they need, and our volunteers will get to work and make them a knocker.
Yeah. How long does it take to make one of these?
I would say it takes anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to make one knocker.
2.5 hours?
Yes.
Really?
If you're a slower knitter, yes.
Really? And so are there thousands of these knitted knockers? There are some people knitting right there. I don't think that's in the Central Valley here, but we did pull some B-roll to show people what takes place behind the scenes. And so it takes about 2.5 hours to knit one of these things. And so that tells you the hard work and elbow grease that goes into it.
Right. A labor of love.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So how many women do you have here in the Central Valley that are actually knitting? How many in the group?
We knit independently. I would say once a month we'll get together. I'll send out an email having us meet at Swatches, and we'll put the word out. And so I would say there are probably 12 to 15 people that are actively involved, but I also think there are a number of other people who go out, they knit on their own, and they turn them into swatches, and we don't hear from them. They're anonymous, right? Yes.
So these are free. People don't have to pay for them.
Exactly.
And do most people, when they order, can they get more than two?
Well, we normally will ask if they want a single or a pair, and we will send out a pair. And I would suggest after time, maybe somebody wants to request another one, we can go ahead and do that. But normally, we just send out a pair.
Yeah, just a pair right here. And so we're looking at some B-roll here. Okay. We've seen enough of that, I think. And so we're here with Jennifer Taylor. She is from Knitted Knockers. And pass me one of those, and I'll hold that up to the camera there. And that's really what it is. It's a prosthetic. It's a breast prosthetic for those who've had breast cancer and those women who have had their breast removed and they want to replace it with something. And this really is a labor of love. Knitted Knockers here in the Central Valley. How long now?
3 months.
Only 3 months
3
old.
months.
And see, just in time, you got the Race for the Cure coming up. You've got the breast cancer detection program coming up at Gaston Middle School on the 26th of next month. So, a lot to talk about. 436-MeTV, option 11. We're back in just a moment.
We need help to find this missing child. Hallie Cummings was 7 when she went missing. She was last seen in Satsuma, Florida in February of 2009. This is what we believe she looks like today at age 11. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678. Please help bring Hallie Cummings home.
The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's 3 reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me, and baby makes 3.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
All right, we're here talking about knitted knockers, and here it is, basically a knitted prosthetic breast for those who've had breast cancer and have had both breasts removed, maybe just one. You can use this as a filler. And by the way, Knitted Knockers will have a booth, a special booth at the Race for the Cure that takes place on October the 24th. That's out at Fresno State. Registration starts at 6:30 in the morning. And you can pay to run the 5K if you want, if you've got a baby stroller or a dog. Remember, it has to be a specially trained dog, that it's a special needs dog. And also, if you do have a baby stroller, you'll have to run at the back of the pack because of safety reasons. But anyway, you'll have a booth at the race.
Correct.
And for those who need some of these knitted knockers, that's a great idea. And so to obtain some of these, you just go to CA Knitted Knockers at sbcglobal.net, explain to you, Jennifer Taylor, as to why you need it, what happened to you, and how many you need, right?
Right.
And you'll send them.
Yes.
Through the mail.
Exactly.
Okay. Stupid question. How does this feel when you put it on? What do women say?
Well, the feedback that I've received is they think they're great. In
what way?
Well, I've heard women say that they now feel that they have a perky appearance.
They're soft to the touch.
Exactly.
Here's some pictures that we're looking at right now of some of these prosthetic breasts, knitted, of course. Is that what makes this special? Is that it's knitted and it feels like a soft pillow?
Yes. Yes, and also the special yarn that's used.
What kind of yarn?
It's an Ultra Pima, which is a cotton yarn. It's very soft. There are other cotton yarns that aren't so soft, and so the fact that we've found a yarn that feels so wonderful to the touch is an important part of Knitted Knockers.
Okay, how many of these do you give away?
To date, we've sent out approximately 3 dozen. And that's in 3 months' time, so we're averaging about 12 a month. And one thing I want to say is we originally started with the idea of serving women in the Central Valley. However, since there are no other chapters in California, we are providing knockers to women up and down the state of California.
Wow, so you're providing for the entire state, but how are people finding out about you? How are you getting the word out?
Right. Well, we do have a Facebook page. The parent organization, which is knittedknockers.org, has a provider page, and on that provider page we're listed, and so I receive requests that way. I also receive requests from knittedknockers.org. They pass along any request in California.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Okay, here's an email question. Can your guest talk about the filling? Is it traditional filling? What is it? What's the filling like?
The filling in these is a polyester fiber fill, and you can see I'm taking it out here.
Looks like cotton on the inside almost.
Right. So it's just a polyester fiber fill, and so when we send these knockers out,
why don't we take the phone number down here just for a minute, and then hold it up to your camera.
Sure.
in the yeah. So that's the filler in your right hand.
Correct.
And what's that made of?
It's a polyester fiber fill.
Looks like cotton, but it's not.
It's not, right?
Okay.
It holds the shape well, and one of the reasons we send these open like this is so that women can adjust the knockers to their needs. So if somebody's had a lumpectomy, they don't need all the stuffing in it. They can remove the stuffing. And so it's nice that it's adjustable.
Okay. We got a phone call here. We can take it. Good morning, caller. You're on the air with Jennifer Taylor of Knitted Knockers.
Yes, I was interested why they don't make them in flesh-colored, and are they washable?
Oh, flesh color, and are they washable? 2 great questions.
Yes, to both of those questions. We have a variety of colors. We ask people if they want neutral, pastel, or a bold or a dark color. And then, yes, they are washable. I would suggest putting them in a lingerie bag when you wash your clothes. And
can you put them in the dryer?
You can. I've heard.
They shrink?
No, they don't shrink. But you can put them in the dryer. You can leave them out to dry. Either way, whatever your preference is.
Right. And what about the skin color? Do you have any that are skin color?
Yes, we do have some neutral colored ones, so various beiges. I brought the colorful ones today, but yes,
because they look better on camera, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, how do you plan to expand? How do you plan to get the word out? Social media is one thing, but don't you need much more?
Well, yes. So I've been getting the word out through, besides social media, I've been relying on some of the nonprofits in town, like Susan G. Komen. They're helping us get the word out. I've spoken to people at oncology offices about having a basket of knitted knockers available.
What is their reaction when they see these?
Excited. very excited that there's another option for women and a free option for women as well.
So you've actually taken some of these to medical offices?
Yes, yes,
and
I
the
have.
reaction is very positive at this point.
Yes, exactly. And it's they want to know when they can have their basket of knockers for their clients and
what is
patients.
the reaction from those who've received these knitted knockers? Are they happy with them, the majority, or all?
All. I haven't received negative feedback to date, and it's so gratifying when we do receive letters from people thanking us, indicating that this changed their life, they have a new outlook, and so that's important.
Okay, got to go to break. We're with Jennifer Taylor, Knitted Knockers here in the city of Fresno. If you need knitted knockers, can they call a telephone number, or do they have to email?
Email would be easier.
Okay, email is the best way. It's CA Knitted Knockers at sbcglobal.net. And then you can get a hold of Jennifer. She can send you some knitted knockers. They're right here. Here's one, a sample here, a pastel color, very colorful. It shows up well on camera. That's why you brought the colorful ones, right? All right, back with our program here on Connect with Me in just a moment.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. KitchenAid, Ventura TV appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
We need help to find this missing child. Erica Parsons was 13 when she disappeared. She was last seen in Salisbury, North Carolina in November of 2011. This is what we believe she looks like today at age 16. If you have any information, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That's 1-800-843-5678.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
All right, knitted knockers, and here's the one that's the flesh tone color right here, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, that's correct. So
you can get, any size woman.
Yes, from a AA on up to whatever you need.
Yeah, whatever you need, you've got it. Oh, and in the email that you I hope you would send to Jennifer, you put the size in there, don't you?
Yes, yes.
You put all the information in there.
Exactly.
Okay. Another email question here as we take a look at some video. What is that? Is that your website?
That is knittedknockers.org. That is our parent website.
That's the national website?
Yes, yes.
All right. And there's some women there knitting those knockers. Email question says, is the prosthetic gentle to the skin? Sensitive skin. A lot of people have sensitive skin, as you know. And is it sensitive to the scar tissue after surgery?
From what I've heard, this is the best answer, this cotton Pima that we have. So it was especially designed so that people wouldn't be irritated, so that delicate scar tissue wouldn't be irritated. So
yeah. A lot of people have very sensitive skin, irregardless of surgery or not. And so what's the difference between this and say, a silicone prosthetic?
A silicone prosthetic is much heavier. I would think this weighs maybe 35 grams. A prosthetic may weigh 400 grams.
Okay.
So you're going to have the weight difference. You're also going to have something next to your skin that is going to be hot and not very comfortable, whereas this is a cooler alternative for us.
Yeah, it is much cooler, but the silicone ones have been around for a while, right?
Right. They have. And I think from what I've heard, oftentimes those silicone ones end up in people's desk drawers because they don't use them. Exactly, right.
Yeah. Do people that you talk to who have knitted knockers do they feel a sense of confidence?
Yes, I have heard that their confidence was instilled when they put their knockers in. Maybe they weren't using anything before because they didn't like
Right.
the prosthesis.
Did they feel better about themselves?
Yes, definitely.
How so?
Definitely. I think they have more of their normal shape that they had prior to surgery, and so that's what the knitted knockers is going to do. It's going to get that shape back.
Yeah, so how many people do you have knitting here in Fresno?
You know, it's hard to say. I would say at least 15, maybe 20.
And where do you do the knitting?
We normally do the knitting at home, or we meet on a monthly basis at Swatch's Yarn Shop. And
Right, you mentioned that earlier,
yes.
Swatches, okay. But you have 15 to 20, and
Right.
who are these women that are doing it?
you know, most of the people are just volunteers, anonymous volunteers.
Are they retired or what?
They're retired. I met a lady the other day who is a minister who was knitting knockers. A number of church groups are getting involved and want to help knit knockers as well. So we have to look forward to going out and speaking to them.
Yeah. Well, this is really a good thing, and you know, breast cancer can be very devastating to families and to loved ones, the ones who've lived through it and gone through it, and so many people have been lost. What are you hearing about from breast cancer survivors in terms of just not only having a prosthetic that kind of rejuvenates their confidence, but their overall outlook? What are you hearing?
So far, I'm hearing that they have more of a positive outlook on life, that they're able to go out and feel good about themselves. And I think that's why we're here. We want to help women feel good about themselves.
So you're hearing good things then?
All positive.
Yeah, and this helps them get through it. Of course, many people have loved ones to help them get through it, but there are those who don't.
Right.
And so what does Knitted Knockers do to try to help those people emotionally, mentally, in terms of support?
Right. Well, our organization is really dealing with the after effects of having a mastectomy, and so
how devastating is that for a lot of people? Would you say, considering you've talked to a lot of people, I'm sure, who've had both removed?
Right. Well, for instance, Barb Demarest, who started Knitted Knockers in the state of Washington, talked about the fact that she couldn't have a prosthetic device right away, and when she went in to visit her doctor, the doctor told her this, and she cried. And she said that was the first time during this whole process that she had cried. And so we want to make sure that there's something available for women, and so that's why we're here.
Yeah. Well, I want to give out the email one more time. Only got about a minute left here. It's ca.knittedknockers@sbcglobal.net. You can email Jennifer Taylor. You can get the hot pink, you can get the flesh tone. These are knitted knockers for those who've had breast removal, either one or both, and they replace the silicone, and apparently it's doing a pretty good job. And they're going to have a booth October the 24th at the Race for the Cure out at Fresno State. So stay tuned for that, and also the breast screening event that takes place at Gaston Middle School, and that takes place on September the 26th, and so don't miss that event as well. Jennifer, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, and good luck with your knitted knockers.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on Connect with Me on Me TV Fresno. Make sure and have a great weekend. Tune in Monday. We've got Eric Rosales here, an investigative reporter for KMPH Fox 26. It'll be his first time appearance here on the program. And love and kisses to our director and producer, Lauren Boothillier, who will be leaving to go to Power Talk 96.7. I know Marcus behind the scenes here is crying his eyes out right now, as I will be next week when she's gone. Okay, have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday with somebody new flying the airplane, my friends. Have a good one. See you later. Bye-bye.